Hey friends, it's Ernie, Trader of Futures. It is Monday. Today is November 12th. Is it November 12th? Hold on. Yes, it is November 12th, Veterans Day. Hope you're doing well. Market's in a little bit of a turmoil. I see that. Things are going pretty good here. Everything's under control. The dog's doing well. Cancer has been subsided. We'll be bringing him to the vet to do another ultrasound and make sure that all the cancer is gone. For those who don't know, my dog Neo had lymphoma. He was diagnosed back in early August. We started giving him Rick Simpson oil and a keto-like diet, and he's made a complete turnaround. Went from completely emaciated, no energy, diarrhea, pure water, to perfect. Gained all his weight back, looks wonderful. All through the use of Rick Simpson oil. They gave him 2 months. It's been over 2 months. They wanted us to put him on chemo, which would have been a death sentence. Could have extended his life to, say, 5 months. And we would have just seen him wither away slowly. But now he is 100% back. His brother is happy. That's right, we have his brother Obi. And so that's a wonderful thing. So I thought I'd give you that update. Today's video is on how to make money trading. No secrets involved. So I've often talked about what is the holy grail of trading. Now, of course, employing a systematic approach is paramount. Having a well thought out hypothesis, strategy, understanding your edge, along with a systematic approach and that discipline of applying that system, again, is paramount. But trading one strategy, here's the holy grail. Trading one strategy is not it. There is no magic strategy. Trading multiple non-correlated strategies that have entries or the impetus for getting into the strategy is completely different from each other. And therefore, they tend to have and work in different markets, have different returns. That's what a non-correlated strategy is. So, for instance, you might have a seasonal strategy and then have another one that is based on an economic report and another one based on, your horoscope. Those would be considered non-correlated strategies. Trading multiple non-correlated strategies within your risk limits, trading small number of these strategies is the holy grail of trading. So again, no secrets. The big problem is coming up with those strategies to trade. Not everybody has the wherewithal to create a bunch of strategies. And it's not necessarily impossible. It's difficult. Finding strategies that you can test, backtest, put into curation, build up, become comfortable with, that will produce enough trades across the number of strategies that you have in order to meet your goals. Of course, the more of these that you put on, the more trades that you put on, the greater that non-correlated effect is going to take place. This non-correlated strategies, what happens is, because they are uncorrelated with each other, if the strategies are effective, it'll minimize drawdowns and improve the overall equity and reduce the amount of volatility that you have in your returns. Now, trading this way is really not hard if you have all your strategies set out and they're firing off trades. That is the problem. That's the key, and that's where most people fail. They fail to identify, never mind 5, 6, or 10 strategies. They fail to identify just one good strategy. They don't understand its the edge that it actually has. And maybe they know the edge, but they don't know how to apply it correctly in that particular market, or maybe the market that they're trading just isn't conducive to that strategy. That's why you have multiple strategies. You have to create this kind of anti-fragile effect, this convexity, that if you have enough strategies, they will apply and adapt to the market. Again, that is the problem. We keep on coming down to this problem. This problem that I'm telling you is not the secret. The secret is having multiple non-correlated strategies. I can help you there. Now, one way to do it is to go through a lot of effort, learn how to automate your strategies, build new ones, be able to test their correlation with another. Another is to maybe use a signal service or in multiple signal services that are all based on different things, and then mix that in with some of your own strategies, maybe some peers trading, short-term, medium-term, long-term. Long-term trades tend to be more reliable, easier to develop. Short-term trading has far more risk associated with it. These are known things that professional traders, so you gear more of your trades towards mid to long term and fewer trades with the short term. So again, coming up with all this stuff is really, that's the test. That's hard. And like I said, I'm going to make it easy for you. Soon we'll be doing a full-blown marketing effort for our artificial intelligence strategy or trade generator. So this is a system that we've been working on for the past, it's been over 4 years, and it's actually gone through many iterations. It's a neural net. It has been trained with literally hundreds, actually close to 400 different patterns, chart patterns, strategies, conditions. And it has actually generated or figured out on its own at least that number, maybe a little bit more. And what it does is it looks at whatever assets that we want to throw at it, and we want to have at least 20 years of data, and it will look at that and try to pattern match the strategies that it's found and ones that have worked that fit within a certain window of performance characteristics. And it can do this over dozens and dozens of futures, Forex, stocks, almost instantaneously. And everything in its world, and we call this system the embodiment. In the embodiment, in this world, everything is about statistics. And so it's looking for strategies that have win rates in excess of 80%. When I say a win rate, that means that if that strategy were to trigger, there is an 80% probability that it would make within 4 days more than a penny. That's with commissions and slippage included. There is a 1 standard deviation or 67% chance that it will reach a certain target. And those targets we try to, again, put into kind of this window of opportunity. These targets make so much. Now I'm going to have statistics on this, on the actual results very soon. My partner's working those up, and hopefully I'll have that for the next show. But what this does is create or generate millions or at least hundreds of thousands, maybe even millions of different combinations. And from that, every day, it will come up with from none to several strategies. And we put them out in 2 different phases. One, at night, we put out the futures and Forex for the next day. And then if there are any stocks that or ETFs that meet these criteria by the embodiment, we'll put those out in the morning, right after the session opens. It requires the session open in order to make its final determination. It is looking at a four session window. Given these parameters, 80% winners over a long period of time, 20 years or more, with the ones that do setup with about a 70% chance of hitting the target. And those targets are substantial. In fact, they're so substantial that on our average futures trade, a winner will pay for an entire year of the service. So, I mean, it's from a cost-benefit analysis, it's kind of a no-brainer. But what we've done is we've taken this holy grail of trading. This is the same strategy that virtually all investment banks and hedge funds use, multiple non-correlated strategies. And we've taught the embodiment this concept, this philosophy, and it uses that as its overriding philosophy to generate these trades. That, I guess you can say, is the secret. It's not really a secret. I mean, I've already told you, it's not really a secret. Just have to come up with multiple non-correlated strategies, but it's tough. So we created a system that does that for you, creates non-correlated strategies, or creates setups based on, and here's the really cool part about it, is that it's rare that we have the same strategy trigger in any 45 or 60-day period. So virtually every strategy, every trade that comes out is an actual unique combination of patterns, machine learning, and other stuff that it has figured out. Every trade, every setup that goes out is relatively unique. So I can show you, what came out today, just to give you an idea. I didn't have this ready. Sorry about that. We had, and these came out last night, good for today until the market ends. So all of the setups, every time they come out, they're good for the next day until the end of that session. If you enter that trade, then we have a time stop on them. And we say that we give it about 4 sessions for it to reach its target. Now, will they all reach its target? No. About 70% of them will reach the target. 80% of them will end up profitable within that 4-session period. Some of them will wildly exceed the target. Some of them will come short of it. Some of them may even lose, but only about 20% losers. Losers are fairly well contained. So let me do this. Let me bring up and I'll show you what this looks like. I'm going to make it big so you can see it. So this gets emailed to everybody that's in the service. And we've been running the service now for a little over a month. We haven't done any kind of marketing. There's about 26 people that are signed up right now. And this is what it all looks like. So this is when the signal was generated, what market it's in, and this is the one for Forex and futures. The symbol here is based on TradeStation symbols. We provide a cross-reference regardless of what platform you're using, whether it's Thinkorswim, Interactive Broker, or anything, eSignal or whatever. We'll show you what the appropriate signal is, so you don't have to worry about that. And what kind of entry it is. Either it's a buy, sell, or a breakout. Now it can be break up or break down. And we provide where that entry is and the exit. Now the interesting thing here is that the entries and the exits are also statistically based. So we find what we feel is the sweet spot for an entry and the sweet spot for a target or an exit. And we can also provide information that will tell you, well, there's approximately a 70% chance if you enter that it's going to hit that exit. there may be some point between the entry and that exit that might give you a 95%. Now, of course, the amount that it would return would be less, but you could trade like that. You can gear or dial in the type of return and probability of profit that you want based on this knowledge. So lots of trades. Today, we got into home heating oil. And I believe also the Swiss franc that hit the target. So we're already out of that. I would say that usually about 40 to 50% of them trigger. Today was a little bit different. There are a lot of trades here too. You normally will see like 3 or 4 instead of this many. But let's take a look at the home heating oil. Here it is up in the middle here. Here's the entry up here. And the entry went like this. So we said that, okay, sometime in this Monday session, it's going to, if it comes up and pierces this level here, which was defined in the sheet that I showed you as $2 and 0.1998. If it were to pierce there, then you go short. And so we went short, and this would be the target here. So you can see that it's moved down. This has been a substantial winner. If you've ever traded heating oil, this represents about a $1,600 profit so far on one contract. Now, what you're seeing around here, you'll see the Japanese yen. That's one of the setups. It hasn't come up and hit this yet or come close, so that's been a no trade. The euro, that was something that happened on Friday, I believe, or Thursday, or Friday, I think. And this was the entry or the recommended entry. Of course, you don't have to take the recommended entry. If it blasts through the entry, you can take something lower. So this is where we're at on that. So that triggered. In the upper left is the pound, and that has not triggered. Now, at the end of the day, if it hasn't triggered, that's it, done. These are other trades that I've put on, but that's how it works. All right. As always, we're going to go to the Q&A, see what's going on. Of course, we had elections last week, and we have a fiasco in Florida, where apparently the Broward County and I think it's Palm Beach County have incompetence running there. Either that or they're completely corrupt, trying to steal the election. We'll see what happens. That's going to be a lot of fun. So today we got, let's see, we have Angie1926. How you doing? Great days, Polyfarm, Arakara, Asdirt, Kovrig Christian is a new person. How you doing? Gino Chemo, and several others. And so I'll get to your comments. So Polyfarm says, your thoughts on the market right here. Seems like we may not be done finding a low. I think a lot of this is earnings related. And we're substantially above where the low in the market was. And let's see, I can bring that up too. Let's see, let's bring out the 1 day. Just expanding everything. Give me a second here. Yeah, so let's take a look at this. This is important. Where are we? Where are we going? Where's the market going? Screen share. And here we go. So this is the ES, the E-mini S&P futures contract, the S&P 500. And it's a daily chart. We can see that we've had a substantial run up, hit some wind in the beginning of October, some resistance in the beginning of October, and we came down hard. And about a little over a 10% correction, I guess, from 2960 down to about a low of about 2600. That's actually a little bit more. It's about a 12 or 13% correction, and that's a nice, healthy correction. That's what you like to see in a strong market. Came down a couple of times, made our way down to this low here, and it looks like we've got a really strong reaction off of that bottom. Now we can see that there's a tremendous point of control here, or the high volume mark, the high value node right here at about 2720. That is the natural place where the market wants to go, and it looks like we're going to be heading towards that on this new leg coming down here. From there, we could possibly do a little consolidating and then start moving up or move down. My guess is that we'll start moving up. However, the Dow transports have shown a tremendous amount of weakness, and the Dow transports tend to lead the market. And so unless that gets back above its 200-day moving average, there may be, now you may be wondering, Ernie, you hardly ever talk about, what the hell are you talking about, Ernie? You're talking about moving averages and all this technical stuff. And you say you hate technical analysis. Well, there are some realities that you have to come to grips with. Fund managers are looking at 200-day moving averages, and they're looking at Dow theory, particularly when it concerns the Dow transports and their major markets. And a lot of their buy programs are set on some of these basic things, like whether we're above or below, or whether we're crossing that 200-day moving average. And also looking at longer-term trends. And recently, the Dow transports, they dropped down and broke a channel that they haven't broken for a long time, and that's a significant move from a fund manager's point of view. And so a lot of these programs that they have in the funds are selling, they're triggering, sell, 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 sell. So that's what's happening. And so, everyone climbs on board. Now, typically the Dow transports leads, and last week that's when it dropped down hard and outside the context of the regular pullback, and that's one of the reasons why I believe that we're down, and there's a good chance that we could go down a little further. There is a good chance, there is a smaller chance that we'll make a new low, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think that we'll come down to this 2720 area and consolidate a little bit, and then start moving back up again. So there's some opportunity there. Some people might want to take a look at, the Fibonacci's, the retracement level. I'm not into all that. To me, it's hocus pocus. I'm more interested in, although there are some things about the Fibonacci retracements that have some validity, but it has nothing to do with the Fibonacci, in my opinion. It has more to do with this general concept of 2/3 or one standard deviation, the mean average, regression to the mean. And, 0.618 is, in fact, right in that 2/3 area. So the lower part of the golden area, the golden ratio, is also within that 2/3 area. So if you want to call it Fibonacci, that's fine by me. To me, it's a lot. It's a substantial move. Anything that is around 70% to me is a substantial move. So we're always looking for that 2/3 pullback. That's substantial. So we could do that. We could take, let's see, what is this? Just looking for the retrace here. Fib retracement. Here it is. All right, so we've come right up to that 2/3 retracement here. And so that's pretty significant. Now, a lot of people will say, whoa, man, it hit the fib line just like that. It's a magic. You don't see it, right? You don't have to see it. You can take my word for it. Let's lighten things up a bit. A little easier to see now. Hold on. Share that screen. There we go. So here's the fib retracement. Here is 61.8% retracement from the bottom. Very significant. I don't, like I said, I'm not paying attention to the fact that it's fib. I'm just saying that it's approximately 2/3. 2/3 to me is the magic area. That seems to be a ratio that works well in nature. And I'll debunk someday this whole idea that everything is based on fib ratios. There are some things for sure, but not everything. But 2/3, that's something that you can take to the bank. That's a lot. Anything more than it, it's an outlier. Anything less than it, it's weak. And that's the way I think you have to look at it. So here's the volume profile. You can see the big volume node down here at about 2720. I think we're heading back down there, maybe consolidate a little bit and then start moving up. And I think that eventually, by the end of the year, we're going to be breaking new highs. That's my guess. Just a guess. I'm not planning on that. I'm taking everything one day at a time. I've got my long-term positions, my short-term and my medium-term positions. Using the embodiment to help me out with all those medium-term positions. And although we do have an embodiment for a longer term, but that we're not releasing that quite yet. So hopefully that answered your question. And we need to go back to those questions. What's up with Apple? Can you do an analysis with it and fill the gap around 190? Apple had some forward guidance that was a little weaker than expected. And so Apple pulled back a bit. And right now, I mean, I think today it's down maybe about 5%. It's I'm not really worried about Apple. In fact, I got myself the this is the new Apple XS Max. Great phone. Awesome capabilities. Really love this thing. I have some notifications. But yeah, see, it has the 2x zoom, all that stuff. It's a great phone. So yeah, that's how much I believe in Apple. I went out and bought myself, and of course I'm staring at an iMac here and a cinema display here, and Mac Mini over there, and this iMac Pro, and I mean just kick-ass stuff. All Mac all the time. See, I use my Magic Pad. Everything's wireless. Everything's wireless. See, look at these guys here. There, now you saw the whole operation. I think Apple will continue higher. It's our favorite trillion-dollar company. Let's see. Asdor, it says, the best thing a blockchain can do is store value. Okay, so we're getting into blockchain now. Being a payment network is 10 times less valuable. Gold is 7.7 trillion, Visa 320 billion, MasterCard 212 billion, PayPal 101 billion. Gold is 10 times more valuable than those others combined, and no one uses it to pay for their coffee. I beg to differ. Because in here, in my Ridge wallet, by the way, the Ridge wallet is friggin' awesome. But in my Ridge wallet, I have, let's see, what do I have? I have my gold money. I have my gold money credit card. I can pay with gold with this. That's right. I can pay with gold. I can also pay for services and with gold and receive payment in gold with other people that are part of the gold money. Kovrig Christian. If your AI is so great, why do you want to give it away to others? Because it's so great, that's why I want to give it away to others. I'm not giving it away. I am not giving it away. It costs money every month. It's $99 a month, a pittance actually, compared to the value it brings. Why am I doing this? Why not just keep it all to myself, hoard it to myself, and make billions? Because that's not what I'm about. I've been basically doing my own thing for a long time because this is what I like to do. It's fun. I like teaching people. I mentor people. I coach people. I work with other people on stuff like this, people of like mind. Been working out of the home, oh God, for 20-something years, maybe a little bit longer, because I enjoy that independence, that freedom. I come and go as I please. I develop relationships over the internet. That's what I like to do. Hopefully that answers your question. Why do I do this? I'm not a greedy son of a bitch. I suppose I could turn this into something bigger if I wanted to, but that's not my goal. My goal is to be comfortable and happy and not work my ass off and still make a shitload of money. That's my goal. I have other things that are going on too that no one knows about outside of this operation here that allow me to, travel around and do different things. Hopefully that answers your question, sir, ma'am, dude. Gino Chemo. Have participated in this experiment for a month. I can confidently say this unconventional system is quite exciting. Well, thank you very much. Unconventional because Ernie's risk management philosophy is not run of the mill. Well, thank you. Well, actually, most of my my risk management philosophy is built around a shared philosophy with things that Nassim Taleb has touted in his trilogy of books. If you've read The Black Swan or Anti-Fragile, Fooled by Randomness, and I guess you could also include Skin in the Game. Those very neatly encapsulate a good deal of my risk management and trading philosophy. So yeah, and in fact, this system does in fact embody all of those things, and that's one of the reasons why I call it the embodiment. And soon, if you're interested in participating in this, that's great. We will have an affiliate program, and I will start doing a larger marketing program. So if you know somebody that has a list of people that are interested in trading and they want to share in expanding the reach of this program, that's great. We're not looking for huge numbers of people, right? Like I said, right now we've 25, 30 people. If we get up to a couple hundred, 300 or 400 people, that's fine by me. Quite frankly, I don't need the headache to have 1,000 or 2,000 people. But like I said, make some nice passive income. That's fine by me. Yes, Coven Christian, that's what Gino Chemo's saying. The AI embodiment, the artificial intelligence, the AI setups. That's this thing. If you want to take or participate in it, go to my website, traderoffutures.com, and it's right there on the front page. Yeah, and it does pay for itself. I mean, virtually every trade that you take has the potential, actually a very good potential, for paying for the entire year's service. So again, following the overall philosophy that I've just sort of encapsulated. Chesapeake Energy has 37 cents per share dividend coming up. Buy. Well, that's a good tip. I really don't know enough about Chesapeake Energy. And then also it sounds like a good dividend. I don't know, what percent that is, but it might be worth looking at. I like high dividend blue chip stocks. How much money do you need to get into the futures trading? That's a good question. We have people that have as small of an account as $10,000 and then up. I mean, I'm trading with quite a bit more than that. I actually have a couple of accounts trading with, I don't know, about 300,000 or so. But you can go, I would say, with 40 or 50,000, 55,000, you can do virtually every trade all the time and stay well within risk parameters. That's assuming that you're trading like one contract for the futures and a regular macro position with the forex, and then a sized position with your stocks. So I think that is very, very comfortable. But you could also trade much smaller accounts by doing micro positions in forex and the futures, reduce the number of stocks. So you can adjust it, and we have a private Discord group where we're providing that kind of guidance. So that comes along with the program. And that's right. You could also take both the options, both the stocks and the futures trades as options trades, thereby minimizing your risk even further. Because with an option, particularly if you put up a spread trade, even with a very expensive futures contract, you can minimize your risk drastically, and you would have defined risk as well. So you wouldn't have to worry about a particular trade going off the farm. So that is another very good point. And that brings it again back into, and we provide guidance for all that. How do you take these trades using options? You just do the option on that particular contract. So if we say go long on the ES, then you can do an ES E-mini futures contract option. There are futures options, just like there are options on stock. If we say do an Apple trade, you can use Apple options. Pretty simple. Mark Burbart, how you doing? Good morning. I'm doing great today. How you doing? Great show as always. Thoughts on gold and silver entry points? I don't have. I think that both are extremely oversold. That they're very low relative to their net worth. I would say, probably a good time to accumulate some silver on all the dips, or gold if you're so inclined. I'm not particularly a trader of the physical, although I will trade the futures. I am not, and I also look at arbitrage between silver and gold and platinum. And if people want to learn more about that, those are other non-correlated trades that we can throw into the mix, but we don't do that through the embodiment. Those are things that I can talk about in the Discord group. So I don't have a specific entry point or anything like that right now. If the embodiment comes up and spits out a trade, we'll take it. And it trades gold and silver quite often. Top hedge funds can't outperform the S&P. Yeah, well, it's very difficult to outperform the S&P when you're dealing with, $50 billion, even $1 billion. But when you have 100,000 or $1 million or even $10 million, it's really not that hard to outperform the S&P. Actually, it's quite easy. Burgers Guy, that's a great name. What data sources do you use for your AI training? What data sources? Well, like I said, we're trading futures and stocks and Forex. So we use the data sources that would be appropriate. So in futures, it's primarily data from the CME group. So I don't know if that's answering your question or not, but we have proprietary ways that we actually do our training of the system. So I'm not sure exactly where your question is going or what it's directed to, but there's going to be a limit to how much I can say about that. Spook. Man, it's a good name. It's a good name, probably tempting the YouTube censors, though. If the value of Bitcoin isn't used as digital cash, you forgot the D there, so trying to get your tense. But rather it's scarcity, why wouldn't you just use some speculative tech stocks? At least you get partial ownership of a company that way. I don't know, we went from Bitcoin to tech stocks. I'm not sure I understand the connection there. Yeah, I really don't understand what the hell you're talking about. Saying Bitcoin's value is a store of value is pretty much a contradiction. Yeah, I don't believe it is a store of value. And I've said my piece about Bitcoin. Everybody knows how I feel about Bitcoin, shitcoin, and all the shitcoins and the fraud. Maybe Bitcoin and decentralized economies will be part of our everyday thing sometime in the future, but it ain't happening anytime soon. And that you can take to the bank. Alejandro Aspinwall, have you looked into Aurora Cannabis? Do you think it is still overvalued? I think that all the cannabis stocks are overvalued. Every single friggin' one of them is severely overvalued. Well, let's take a look. And what I do, I'm not looking at individual, I'm not looking at individual stocks right now in the cannabis industry. I'm looking more at the ETF right now. They are all spectacularly overvalued. And as I had predicted on October 17th, when Canada became completely legal, well, not completely, they became recreational use legal across the country. I predicted that all the cannabis stocks would drop drastically, and that's exactly what happened right on the spot. So we'll take a look at the cannabis stocks, and you can see. Let's go for the light color theme on this one too. So you can see that we had a nice run up. And then right on that day that Canada made recreational use legal. Oh, damn. What happened here? I thought I chose this. There we go. So this is MJ, called the Alternative Harvest ETF. It's the 30 largest cannabis-related stocks. Most of them, virtually all of them, are in Canada. But you can trade this over the NASDAQ, so it's completely available to you, and it has options as well. I traded a bit, made some money on it. But as you can see, we took a big dump. We had a little dead cat bounce, and now it looks like we're going to go continue down. I think we're going to hit new lows or new recent lows and get below this level of $28, $28.50. So I see us at least testing that, maybe going a little bit lower, maybe as low as 25. And right now, they're valued like an Amazon, and they're not Amazon. So they still have a ways to go down. And as new states are coming on in the legalization realm in the United States, and as soon as Donald Trump sees his way fit to fulfill a campaign promise, and that's to make medical marijuana legal across the United States, that's when I think that you'll see the market really take off. Once you start hearing about that rumble, I think that's when that's going to be a good time to go long and wait for that date when it does finally come and then go short. Basically buy the rumor, sell the news type of deal. But that's what I would be looking for. I would be looking for that kind of rumble out there talking about medical legalization across the country. Right now we have about, 37 states, something like that. We're getting up there. Soon we'll be above 40. I think the DEA is going to have to relax their level 1 designation, their Schedule 1 designation for marijuana. It's ridiculous that it's even there. The FDA has recently approved a CBD and cannabis-related epilepsy drug just last week, and that's very exciting. So we're getting closer. We're getting closer, and this is good. And marijuana isn't just something that is worth thinking about from a medicinal point of view. It is an industrial plant as well. It's perhaps the most versatile industrial plant product ever conceived. And I think that we're going to see a lot more of it in the future. Once that stigma is released, that reefer madness is gone. Asder, it says, great ROI for the 50K futures trade money in the traditional market. It will be almost 1% annually. Great profits. Yeah. Yeah, it is. The system is friggin' awesome. If you want to learn how to trade, come join the service. We'll teach you how to become disciplined and how to take these trades and stay disciplined with them. And I would say that there is a very, very good chance even on your first time out as a new trader that you will make money. I mean, it's almost hard not to make money with this system. Let me put it that way. Of course, I can't promise anything. Depending on when you come in, you could hit a spot where it has a few consecutive losers. And you're going to say, oh, this thing sucks. And then if you hang on, you'll say, oh, wow, that's pretty cool. I mean, that can happen. Or you could jump right in and you could just have nothing but winners for the next month. Who knows? Can we apply future signals to CFDs? I don't know enough about CFDs, contract for difference, but they're like kind of spread trades, I guess. If they are covering the same asset, I don't see why not, if you can find an equivalent price. Use pronounced as use, not use. Okay. GameCuber. Hello, Ernie. Hope you're doing well. I plan on getting into your course later, reading Nassim Taleb. Do you know he is on Medium? Yeah, that's unusual that he is on Medium. I say that only because Nassim isn't what I would consider a liberal weenie, and most of the people on Medium are liberal weenies with an agenda. So maybe he's on there because there's a good audience or whatever. Maybe somebody that works for him is actually just posting his stuff there for him. I just don't see him as a Medium type of a guy. He's too irreverent and libertarian to be a Medium personality. But anyways, that's all I have for now. $500 in 12 months with 50K. You really think I would come? I stay in the crypto. What the hell are you talking about? That makes no sense. No, we're talking about returning 1% to 2% per trade, not per whatever 12 months. That's fucking stupid. But read the comments on Medium. I'll check them out. I mean, I follow his Twitter, and I'm sure he provides links for his articles in there. Kovrig Christian asks, what books, resources would you recommend for a beginner trader? I would read the books that I talked about from Nassim Taleb. And, well, let's do this. The Black Swan, Anti-Fragile, Fooled by Randomness, and Skin in the Game are the books that I would start with. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you, just go to Amazon and type in Nassim Taleb. Let's see. What is going on here? Nassim Taleb. Oh, you can even get a box set. Here, I'll show you. I recommend the Audible books. I really enjoy the Audible books. The narrator on the Audible is fantastic. All right. So you can see right here. Here you can get a number of his books for a special price, paperbacks. Anti-Fragile, Black Swan, Fooled by Randomness. This is a very good book too. Expensive, but very good. All of his books are fantastic. Like I said, I personally prefer the Audible versions. Just easier for me. All right. Hopefully everybody got something out of that. Those are the books that I would recommend for a beginner trader. They will provide you with first of all, these books are not about trading, but they are about trading. They're also about life. They will orientate you the right way of thinking about trading. The rest, I can show you. Gino Kimo says, HO closing in on the target. Good job, Ernie. Or should I say AI? The embodiment did it again. Yeah, let's see. We'll go to that. We'll see how it's closing in on the target. Yeah, look at that. Bam, bam, bam. We'll just extend that over so you can see. That is so beautiful. Look at that. Woo! That is a major league trade. That pays for almost 2 years of the embodiment service. That's this guy up here. Style, settings, appearance, background, white. let's see, we'll change the color of this to that. Here is the, just going to make it easier for you to see. Yeah, that's one of today's trades. That's home heating oil or heating oil. And that is a heating oil, obviously, is a derivative of crude oil. It's in the energy sector. We have crude, heating oil, gasoline, etc., natural gas. All of those are part of the crack process, cracking. But yeah, look at that. That is fantastic. Very, very close. I mean, you can take profits anytime here. Fantastic trade. Unbelievable trade. And that's what the embodiment does for you. Let's see. Where am I in terms of profit on that trade right now? Right now, one contract, I am up $2,591. Now I'm doing that in two accounts. So that one trade has already netted me over $5,000 today. $5,000 today. Did you hear that? One trade, $5,000 today. And it hasn't even hit the target yet. I mean, what can you say about that? Isn't that beautiful? That is so friggin' beautiful. Miro, how you doing? It's hanging well. What did I miss? You missed everything. The show's over. Maybe you missed my new phone, my new iPhone. It's the 10s Max. With this one has 256 gig of memory. So it's not the absolute high end. The high end has half a gig of memory, but it's just one step below the top of the line. Awesome phone. Has face recognition. I was a little bit leery. I was skeptical. Tried it out. It is fantastic. Works unbelievably. Embodiment AI. What the hell is going on here? I am interested. Do I have to get something implanted in my brain? No, you don't. Nope, you don't. Just go to my website, traderoffutures.com, sign up. If you have some questions, on my traderoffutures.com website, there's an about link. You can send me an email. You can give me a call, leave a message, any of those things. But the embodiment is fantastic. I just showed one of the trades that happened today that's already almost hit the target and is already, with one contract, has made almost $2,600. And I have actually two contracts, so quite a bit more. One contract. That's just one of the trades today. There are other trades. Most of these trades, like I said, 80% probability that they will end up in the money, and about a 67 to 70% probability that they will hit their target. Nice. The embodiment. All right. So that's today's show. That's how to make money. No secret. No secret involved. Multiple non-correlated strategies. The embodiment AI encapsulates that philosophy, delivers it to you for short cash. So anyways, I really appreciate everybody showing up today. Thank you very much. It was wonderful talking with you. Yeah, it's a signal service. It is a signal service. And there is a class that goes along with it. So when you sign up, if you sign up for it with the class, it's a little extra money for the class. I hold those on Saturdays. And that shows you everything there is to know about the embodiment service. Plus, we get into futures contracts, trading with futures, and trading with options. Um, the signals come out the day before or the night before, and they're good as soon as they come out, right up through the next session. We hold on to them for 4 days. We give them 4 days to work their way out or reach the target. So it's kind of like a time stop. If you take all the trades, because of their non-correlated nature, it's almost anathema, or there is no good reason to set stops, believe it or not. You can set a catastrophic stop, but for the entire portfolio, but I would not set stops for any of the trades. I don't. And most people that are in the group, some of them are starting to get into that, sort of reprogramming their mind in that. But it's designed in such a way that by taking all these trades, they tend to hedge each other. So that even if the market goes crazy, all the trades that, some are going long, some are going short, they tend to, like I said, hedge each other. So there's risk management built into the philosophy of the system. As Gino Chemo says, friggin' awesome signals. Maximus, what's the fee for the class and service? How many classes? This one class, it's on a Saturday. There's also you can also watch it on demand after that. I make a recording of it. There will be other future classes that will continue to evolve, and so you're always invited to future classes. The class itself is $125, and the service is $99 a month. So Gino Chemo has made $2,956 profit today. Not bad. Not bad. Well, I'm glad you like the show, Miro. Thank you. Do you know your way around order flow stuff? Jigsaw, TT, Sierra. I am into deeper future stuff. Yes, I do. I do, but we're not practicing. Well, we're practicing we're not doing strict order flow here, but we do follow order flow principles. I did a class for a long time on volume profile, which is one of the tools that you might use in order flow. So I'm not sure exactly what you're looking for, but I'm not looking to do any particular training or trading on order flow here. Order flow is very effective in very, very short-term trading, scalping on the minute level. And it is also effective in longer-term trades. Medium-term trades, I'm not a big, or short-term trades, I'm not a real big fan of. All right. So that's about it for today. All right, one more question. What's the minimum amount of the account needed to join? Well, you can join with whatever you want. I'm just saying that we have people that trade with as little as 10,000 and up. I'm trading with about 300,000. I know that there are a lot of people out there that are trading with 40, 50, 60, or 100,000. Some are trading with 25,000. There are different things that you need to do to make sure that you're within your risk parameters once you get to smaller accounts. When you get to the bigger accounts, you have much more leeway. Ernie, can I buy you a steak dinner or on one of those new cannabis beers? I'll tell you, I'll provide a tip service sometime down the road, if you're interested in that. But thank you very much for the offer. Yeah, Miro says, yes, I'm a 10-second chart freak. So yeah, I mean, that is where order flow is most effective, between a few seconds and probably as much as 2.5 minutes. Beyond there, it's, it gets a little bit murky. All right, guys. Thank you very much for showing up today. Make sure you like this video. All right, go down there, click that like button, and share it. Push it out into your social media so other people have a chance to see it. That's how we'll spread and build this puppy. All right? Thank you. Take care. Have a good afternoon. We'll see you next time.